Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Paulio Jr., and in today's video, I wanted to do an update on the Thunderbolt 100-watt solar panel kit, which is typically sold at Harbor Freight, and you can find it anywhere online. Now, in the previous video, maybe a couple months ago, I think I just had one battery, and I actually had the whole system in a different room. So that other room did not get a lot of sunlight. It only had, a couple hours at the most of being able to charge the battery. So, I live in a condo unit, so I can't go ahead and throw these things outside or on the roof. But so I've decided to to MacGyver this the best way I can and to save room. So as you can see, each panel here, these are 25 watt panels. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. And so what I did in order to, obviously they're in the window, but what I did to actually hold them into place was to slant the panels back a little bit. But then I got this Amazon Basics, curtain rod adjuster. It was about $20 just to kind of hold them, a little bit less than halfway, down. So I can lean them back a little bit, get them some more, sunlight. And now, just with this being in the window, it'll actually pretty much start charging the batteries at sunrise and go till sunset. And what I think I'm going to do is actually flip all the panels from vertical to horizontal, and so that I can get 4 more panels into the window. So that's the best setup that I can have right now to get as much power out of the sun as possible. But anyway, moving on to our little contraption. Now this is really just a mock setup, so to speak. This isn't complete. It's just an idea, that I'm tinkering with. So in the future, I do want to add more batteries, but right now I do have everything that I need to, say, power up plenty of living room appliances and laptop, whatever, everything. So in the living room, there's a TV, a laptop, some things for charging, stuff like that. So make sure that when you are actually connecting things to the power inverter, that you actually have, that it's not going past the capacity of the power inverter. So to start off, each battery is 12 volts and 35 amps. So with all 3 of these batteries, then they're connected in parallel. So it's negative to negative to negative, positive to positive to positive. That's it. So what that essentially does is it makes it one 12-volt battery, but then you multiply the amps of each battery by 3. So it's one 12-volt battery, which is combined 105 amps. So right now we have roughly 1,260 amps. Now we can actually charge on the charge controller. It shows what the voltage is right now, and it's 11.6. So you can actually go to 15 volts comfortably without having any issues, without burning anything out. So if you get that up to 15, then you'll have a little bit more wattage as well. Altogether, but for this video's sake, we'll say 12 volts, which is standard, 105 amps. So right here, like I said, 1,260 watts. So which is perfect because this power inverter is 1,500 watts. So it's just a little bit more than what I have here. So, and as I get more batteries, I'll probably get a more powerful inverter. Now, just to show you really quick, when you are charging batteries in parallel, you don't want to charge them both on one battery and then just have it spread through. You want to have the positive on the first battery, and then whatever your last battery is in the sequence, you want to have the other charging cable on the negative side. So positive on battery 1 charging, negative on battery 3 charging. And then for the power inverter, you do just the opposite. So we do the negative clamp is on the first battery, and then the positive clamp is on the third battery. So it's that simple. And this just makes it easier to distribute the power and the charging more evenly. So it's not just pulling all from one battery, it's pulling, we'll say more as, from a collective set than just from, trying to draw everything from one battery. But now, in this, so we have the wattage of the batteries. We have that they're set up in parallel series and how to do that. And then we have how to set up the power inverter itself. So, obviously this transforms the DC power to AC power. And now, if you can, now obviously there's everything you can 100% plug into the AC power. But for instance, my computer tower, I cannot. So whenever I feel like it, what I do is I just plug this guy in. It goes back to my computer, and I'll have plenty of time before I have to unplug it. But the good thing about the Centec power inverters is they actually give you a pretty loud beep when you are, losing power altogether from the battery. So it gives you plenty of time to shut down the computer, without just turning off by itself. And the other thing that I wanted to show you, and this was actually thanks to my dad, was, so for instance, I have a laptop, and a laptop, the laptop charger, obviously comes with a plug like this, which is AC. And when I plug it into here, what's going to happen is it's going to draw 120 volts at 1.7 amps. So when I use the regular power adapter, I'm drawing about 204 watts, with this plug. Now, I could actually save myself some power and use something like this. Now, I know that there are other devices that do make it easier, but this is just an example. So this is a totally this is all a universal DC laptop charger. So I can set it to how many volts I want and so forth. And so if I were to plug my battery, if I were to plug my laptop into this instead of the actual AC adapter, this would only require 63, it's 63.27, but 63 watts of power using this. And like I said, 204 watts using a regular AC adapter. So if you do have devices that require, that do have DC connections, I would 100% use them because they're a lot less wattage. They use less electricity. And here's just a very small example how to set it up. Now, like I said, there are other devices of using this, other ways of using this, but this is just an example. So on the Thunderbolt charge controller, there's this option here to the right, and it has a light bulb in here. So this is power that's going out. So the middle one's obviously charging the batteries, and this is another. These ports right here are if you want to add extra solar panels into these little screw holes here. But I only really need this guy for right now. But so let's say you wanted to plug your laptop into your system. So yes, you could use this, but it is so 6, 12, 18. It's using about 4 times as much power if you plug it into this than if you use some kind of DC adapter. Now this is just an example. There are definitely other ways to do this, but for anyone who doesn't know, so this is actually a simple, car charger, for USB. And the Harbor Freight kit comes with this plug. So I have the positive on the positive side, and then the negative on the negative side. It comes out to these clamps, and we have red. So we have the positive and the negative. The negative goes around, that part of, the both sides of the cigarette adapter, and then the positive goes on the tip. So right now it's off because we don't have the setting here. There would be an error here if we were actually having power come out of the battery. So all we have to do is hit this, go like that. Now it'll let power, now the charge controller will say, hey, we can start bringing power to whatever device it is. So let me turn this flash off real quick. So you can see that this is now lit up, whereas before it wasn't. So let me get a further view back. So let's turn it off. And we see the lights go off. Turn it back on. And then we see the lights go back on. So I'm going to turn it off for right now, like that. So you could use that same theory with this. This is what I have right now as a universal power supply. And there are other ones out there where you can directly plug them into these DC outputs. If you really, if you find one like that, then go for it. But this is what I have to work with right now. So with the laptop, I would have the clamps go into here, and then I would just set that up, set up the universal charger just like that one. So, and like I said, using a DC power supply, will save you, at least for the laptop, will save me about 400% in total wattage altogether. So I definitely recommend any Centec power inverter just for giving you the long beep for when it actually is, for when the batteries are actually running low for the power inverter itself. Not sure if there was anything else to go over. Let me think really quick. Okay, and so just really quick, you can see I have jumper cables connecting, all the negatives together, and then connecting all the positives together. Now, this is not how I really want to have it set up because it makes it a little bit more bulky. You can actually get thinner terminal connectors that are just, maybe 6 inches to a foot tops of wire. That will connect one. So it'll connect from battery 1 to battery 2, and then another one to connect battery 2 to battery 3. So altogether, you need 1, 2, 3, 4. If you had 3 batteries, and then what I want to do is I want to actually put in 3 more batteries here. So when that happens, I would need 8 of those. So other than that, I would definitely recommend getting I have one in the other room, but what I would do is I'd plug in it's a like a voltage, amp, and wattage meter that plugs directly into the AC outlet right there. And when I plug, say, my computer into that meter, it'll tell me exactly how much power I'm drawing, from the power inverter / the batteries. So as we increase the system, So if I am to get, say, 3 more batteries exactly like this, that means I'll be at, what was it, 1260. So that means so I'd be at roughly, we'll say 2500 to 3000 watts if I were to double this whole thing, roughly. So, and when that happens, yes, I still can use this, but if I want to draw more power from the batteries, this will only let me draw 1500 watts. So if I am to get a 2500 watt, battery system here, we'll say 2500 to 3000 watts, then I would get the next step up from here, which I believe is between like a 2500 to 3000 watt power inverter. And from there, you can power, bigger appliances, like fridges and even standalone heaters. Now, this specific power inverter, the 1500 watt, is like just enough to power one standalone heater by itself, because the one I have uses almost 1500 watts. It's like right below 1500. But yeah, that's really it. And just remember, when you're trying to calculate the the different wattages and so forth, now it is almost exactly the same if, let's say, you have 1000 watts DC and 1000 watts AC. They are basically identical, so I wouldn't worry too much about trying to calculate anything outside of that. So just keep it at that. If it's 1000 watts DC, then it's 1000 watts universal. So now technically DC is like a little bit less. So if it were 1000 watts of AC, that means it's like, I don't know, it would be like 990 watts DC. But that's just like, that's very technical. Typically, you're not going to have to worry about anything like that. So that's why I just kind of keep them at the same. They're basically identical in as far as wattage is concerned. But yeah, if you do have any devices that do that you can alternate between AC and DC, then definitely connect the DC device so you can save a tremendous amount of power. Don't forget to charge the batteries. So the first battery, like I said, has the positive on the first battery and the negative on the last battery. And then just switch that for the power inverter. So power inverter has the positive on the last battery and the negative on the first battery. And like I said, that's to distribute the power evenly, and it will actually charge the batteries quicker as well. So, all right, that's all I have. I hope you enjoyed my little side project of the 100 watt Thunderbolt solar panel kit. And once I get some more batteries, I'll show you what I'm using to, all the appliances I'm using for this little system here. Hopefully have it a little bit more organized. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one. All right, bye.